What's up, guys? Welcome once again to the Safe Continue podcast. My name is Ryan Robinson. This here is Tom Shelby.
We really do need to change up the theme music because we pay for all of this.
Yeah.
We got a vast library that we're not utilizing that I pay for every month.
When we were a two-camera operation, we had a really cool theme song that sounded kind of like Block Party that we stopped using.
I'll have to go back and look. I still have that file.
Yeah, and I like that one. But I feel like it was most effective when we were at a two-camera setup.
I mean, that's easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we've been, yeah. We'll change
I will say this. I like our current theme song that we've been using more than I like our original theme song.
Blipstream, that song was called.
Yeah, Blipstream.
That was royalty free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like now if we were to go back to that song for even an episode, that listening to that would irritate me.
I think it'd make me happy.
Yeah?
Let's give it one more spin.
Do one more spin. Okay. Shanae wouldn't notice because she didn't listen to the show.
Yeah, we're drinking screwdrivers, by the way.
Yeah, so now we're going to air out all our grievances now that we got a little drink in us. Tom, what's up, bud?
You know what? Have you ever had a brass monkey?
What is that? Is that a...
It's malt liquor and orange juice.
That sounds pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Last time I drank malt liquor was in 2012. I drank, you know how like Old English also comes in cans?
Yeah.
I drank 2 cans of Old English.
Yeah.
And they're like this tall.
That old E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Old English is delicious. Number one.
I feel like you have to, right? But I think it's also partly because we came up with that stuff.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Not like we invented it, but we
Sure.
grew up drinking that stuff, right? So yeah.
But I drank 2 cans of it and I quickly threw up. And I haven't had Old English since. I would like some, but I just never think to buy it.
You know what I thought was disgusting as a kid that I still think is disgusting?
What?
Fucking MDs.
I don't think I ever had one.
Yeah, gross.
I remember when I was a kid, my mom had a boyfriend who used to drink Mickey's all the time.
You ever drink Thunderbird wine?
No.
You never heard the old saying, what's the word, Thunderbird? What's
No.
the price, 30 twice?
No.
No?
That sounds like something that people with white dads hear.
It's this wine you can buy for dirt fucking cheap.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what it comes in a plastic bottle, I hope.
No, I think it comes in a glass bottle, pretty sure.
We've been drinking a lot of canned wine at my house.
Yeah. Box of wine.
Yeah. I think a box of wine would be convenient because all you got to do is do the thing. It's more convenient than trying to open a bottle.
Sure.
We opened a bottle of champagne in our bathroom one time because we were afraid that the cork would ricochet around the room and hit one of us. So you aim it at the shower curtain where it won't ricochet.
Or you just put your hand over it so it can't shoot
I
out.
feel like that's dangerous. Don't want it to go through your hand. You end up
It's
looking
not
like
a bullet.
you look like Tarantino and Dust Till Dawn. Tommy.
Yes, sir.
I feel like what I want to do right now is I want to play so many video games. And I just feel like I have 2 weeks until my new job starts.
Better get going.
And it's funny because I have all these video games that I want to play. And I was like, well, I got to play them in the next 2 weeks. And I just feel like having a job has never meant that I can't play video games anymore.
Yeah.
But for some reason, that's how I'm thinking about
And
it.
you don't have children.
Yeah, I don't.
And your girlfriend is super down to play video games.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
I don't know. It's just this feeling that I have.
Yeah.
But there's.
I get it though. I do get it.
Yeah. Well, I think about you a lot when you get home after work after working your 12-hour day.
Right.
And then you got your children here. How are you? How was your day? Let's take a look at the homework. You guys want some dinner?
Yeah.
Here's your dinner.
Shower.
You gotta shower.
Have to go to bed.
You gotta go to bed.
Do it again.
Where's the video games in that, right?
Well, there isn't. Those days I typically don't game, but because I work such long shifts, I also have many days off.
Sure.
So
yeah, and you also are in the fortunate position where your children also share your hobby with you.
Mm-hmm.
So spending time gaming.
That's not fortunate.
It's not. You don't like that?
It would be if I was a millionaire.
Sure.
And had 2 PlayStations in my house.
Oh yeah, because your kids
Ryan does.
Well, I mean,
No,
Tom,
it's not bad though, because like on a lot of my days off there at school, I'm just at home bored. So what am I gonna do? I read and play video games.
yeah. I mean, but Tom, you do hold ultimate veto power in this house.
Oh, sure.
At any time,
Yeah, you're grounded.
you're grounded. That's all it takes. It's cool though, because I think about what it would be like to have kids in terms of like video games and stuff. I think about like, man, it would be really cool to have a child and have them immediately be 12,
Yeah.
so that they're independent enough, and and then I could do the video games with them.
Well, it's funny. This is like my daughter, right? She's got games that all of her friends are playing.
Yeah,
And because all of her friends are playing, she wants to check them out.
sure,
And they're the games you would expect.
sure.
The Fortnites and the Minecraft and Overwatch and all that, right? And she loves Minecraft. She loves Overwatch, right? But then she's got the games that I introduce her to, right?
Nier Automata.
Yeah, Nier Automata and Shadow of the Colossus and What Remains of Edith Finch and all that crap, right?
Yeah.
So, like, because of me, she's become the pretentious gamer,
Sure.
And I love that.
Yeah, you like that?
I love that.
I wonder how often your child, when with her friends, says, well, actually.
I mean, she probably knows more developers and philosophies behind games than the majority of her peers, I would assume.
Sure.
But
which is, she will continue the legacy after you're gone.
yeah,
Maybe she will have a podcast where she corrects her two friends.
I hope so.
I
I do hope so.
I think
If
that
I die early,
sure.
she just replace me.
Sure. It would be actually interesting. I've actually thought a few times about what it would be like to have one of your kids on the show.
So have I.
Um,
I'm sure it'll happen at some point.
yeah, I would very much, because you've had very long conversations with your daughter about different video games.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with her here and there. And she knows more than I do about a lot of different games that she's playing.
I think that a large part of that is just she plays and we play different things.
Yeah.
There's some times where you and I are like, we're both like, yes, Samurai Showdown's awesome.
Sure.
We're both like, yes, Resident Evil 2 is awesome.
Sure.
But we also like our tastes are very different.
Yeah. You like more Monkey Ball than I do.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
It's funny because like I often, okay, so I think about like this. So I've had coworkers who would talk about football.
Yeah.
Right. I don't watch football, but like I've always been like, man, I wonder what it's like to like football that much.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I deal with that shit every day.
And then I think about you with these different games that you're excited about, or these games that you play, and like, because like there are sometimes where like you'll be like, dude, this game's coming out, or I got this game in the mail, and I was like, you're so excited about it. I look at that game, I'm like, man, that game looks boring.
Sure.
But like you're super into it.
Yeah.
Like you like Tetris more than anybody that I've ever met.
Yeah.
I think Tetris is okay, but like you really like Tetris.
Yeah. I just think it's a patience thing and it's a time thing. It's understanding, right? It's the same reasons that you like certain games, that it's why you like Elite Dangerous and I don't, right? It's why you like fucking Final Fantasy 14 and I don't.
Well, I like
it's because
Elite
you've spent more time with it.
Tom, I like Elite Dangerous because I have a curious mind. So,
but you know what I mean? Like you spent time with these games, you understand things about these games that I don't.
Yeah.
Right? If I did understand those things, I probably would enjoy them more.
Sure.
If you did understand these things, you'd probably enjoy them more.
Sure.
It's just the way it is.
I understand something about those damn dirty apes. But I think that like also like it keeps it interesting too, because like you talk about video games that I would never play.
Right.
And
I mean, same. I'm not playing any Euro Truck Simulator.
Sure. But you should.
And you're probably right. I probably should.
I think, here's what I think. Based on what I've heard about Death Stranding, if you enjoy what you're doing in that, maybe give it a try.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I liked Paperboy.
Sure.
So.
Paperboy is basically Death Stranding.
I brought that up the other day to a friend, but they were too young to have ever played Paperboy.
which is crazy. I actually just watched some. I actually recently Googled someone playing Paperboy just because I wanted to see someone play Paperboy.
Still fun.
Yeah. I feel like they made it like a. Did they ever make it like a 3D like a.
Yeah, N64 had a polygonal Paperboy. It was not good.
Why is that?
I don't remember, but I remember owning it and thinking, God, this is not fun.
You know, I think that like we have like I like that we have differing tastes because I think that having that perspective is important. Because I think I've never liked the idea of spending my time with people who just agreed with me all the time.
You know, it's weird. Like, I guess it just depends on what it is. Because, like, I've brought up Patrick on the show before, you know? And, like, when PlayStation 3 was what do we want to say? Sunsetting.
Yeah. Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, like, we had a lot of half-drunk conversations about PlayStation exclusives, and we were both very big Sony fans.
Sure.
And like we agreed on a lot of stuff, and it was so fun. But at the same time, with you, and especially with Shanae, oftentimes are introducing me to new things and educating me on things. And I've said for a long time, I enjoy the conversation around video games more than I enjoy the video games themselves.
I think it's about even for me.
And when that conversation can teach me something new, I like it more than when it's just me spouting out whatever it is I know about, you know.
It's enjoyable to me because like I don't have like most of the time with a lot of the games that I'm really hardcore into, people aren't going to listen to me talk about that. Like, because I think a lot of time people just don't have the patience to, like, if you're not into it, they don't really have the patience to sit there and listen to you talk about it.
I think that's the biggest, one of my biggest things that I value about this show is it gives me that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, I mean, it's our show. We talk about whatever we want. And
but it is also the reason why, like, some of these games that you're not interested, I want you to play so badly because I want to talk to you in depth about them, you know?
Okay. Well, it's so interesting that you say that because that's the crux of today's show. So there are games that you've introduced to me.
Sure.
That I can tell I will like.
Yeah.
But time is a finite resource.
Yeah.
You know, and we all march constantly toward, you know, death. So we don't have a lot. We have a certain number. There's only so many hours in a day, right?
Yeah. Hideo Kojima's death marching.
Yeah. This is the first March game.
Yeah.
Control, right? So you didn't introduce Control to me, but
you knew of Control,
but you introduced Control to me. If that makes sense.
You're right.
Playing that game just off hearing about it, like I listened to so many conversations about it, and then actually playing it is the exact kind of weirdness that I like. This is the exact kind of weird that I like.
Right.
I played a lot of weird. I like Suda51 as much as the next guy.
Oh fuck yeah,
his games are fucking weird.
Yeah,
but Control is just the perfect kind of weirdness that I like because it's kind of weirdness that's like it's a weirdness that seems real.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weirdness that's like grounded in some way,
mm-hmm.
and it's just that is what's interesting to me because like Suda51 weirdness is just like over the top, and like super bizarre, right?
Yeah, it's anime.
Yeah,
you know.
But like with Control, like all Remedy games, really, it's like a weird, like it's a weirdness that like you know it's there, but you can't define it, like or you can't like. I have a trouble with articulating exactly. I know what's weird about. I know the weird stuff that's in Control.
Yeah,
but like it's so subtle, and it's just so neat.
No, I get what you mean. Like it feels. It's like you said, it feels grounded, even though it's totally not.
Mm-hmm. And I played a lot. I played a good amount of that game. Not a good amount. I don't know how. I played a lot. I put a good number of hours in that game.
Yeah, there's not many hours in the game. So.
But the thing about it is, that game came into my life in a time when other games were already occupying my time.
Yeah. Well, and you more than I think myself or Shanae are one to play a game for a long period of time.
Yeah.
I'll do that with like fighting games or puzzle games.
Yeah.
But like I'm not playing any MMOs.
Sure.
You know, I'm not playing Monster Hunter World for fucking at this point years at a time, right?
Yeah.
Like
I've got 900 hours in Monster Hunter World.
yeah. You know what I mean? Like I play a game and I play it deep and maybe I'll play it a few times and then I shelve it until maybe a year goes by and I'll play it again.
Yeah.
You are consistent with games. The last game I was really consistent with that wasn't a fighting game was maybe like Killing Floor 2.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe Onrush, but my hours in Onrush are a tiny sliver of the pie chart compared to your hours in these games, you know?
Yeah. And here's the interesting thing. I talk about how often a new game enters my life.
Yeah.
And I talk about how often I don't have time to play all these games. The irony of it is I would have more time to play these games if I would stop playing games that I'd already finished.
Yeah, well, I mean, same, right? Like when Shadow of the Colossus came out, it was a game I had already played before, and I played that game and almost nothing else for a few months.
Yeah.
You know? But you also play games that don't really have a definitive ending.
Yeah.
And you like to get your value out of these games, you know? Like, more so than I think most people do.
I feel like I've gotten more than $40 out of Elite Dangerous.
Exactly. Or even Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah.
Like
I've gotten, man. You know, and that's the thing too, right? Because my time is I feel like, especially like as an adult, as I think most adults, their time comes at a premium.
Right.
And so you have the set number of hours per day that you can do like things that you enjoy. And so I want to get deep into Control because I love that. I love what I played so far. Right. Yeah. It's a fantastic game. And I love the lore that's established in it. I love actually playing it. Like everything about that game is so fucking cool. And when I'm into that game, I'm into it.
Yeah.
But then I think about, I could also be practicing Mortal Kombat right now.
See, but that's just it though, right? Like Mortal Kombat 11 was one of the best-selling games of this year. It was the best-selling game of this year until very recently.
Yeah.
I don't know when that came out. March? It's February, somewhere around
March,
there. Yeah. 95% of the people that bought that game played, I mean, just probably way, way less than you did, you know?
Yeah.
You have these games that are evergreen for you, at least evergreen for quite some time.
It will be evergreen until Mortal Kombat 12 comes out.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't do that as much. Yes, I'll still go back and play like fucking retro ass Tetris game. Sure. You know? But like I'm going back to it for like a few days, maybe a couple of weeks. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. So like I was looking at, because before I came over today, I was looking at my shelf. Because we have we have a good number of physical games at my house.
You have a lot of physical games at your house, dude. Because you have the shelf, but like then you have the cases. You have a lot of physical games, hundreds.
I have a lot. My thing just popped out of my cap. Anyway, I'll find it.
Pop cap.
Yeah. Man, speaking of pop cap, I felt real dumb about the text message I sent you the other night because I was like, what did I say? I said,
the Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah,
thing?
I said Resident Evil gives you plants or zombies. Anyway, and Popcat gives you both.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I think about like, because we have because Yakuza, right? Like I played Yakuza 0, loved that game. Like Yakuza 0 was I feel like before Yakuza 0 came out, I bought a copy of the first Yakuza game off the internet and played it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Kiwami happened.
Well, no, because Kiwami was like on the horizon, but Yakuza 0 was just about to come out.
Yeah.
So I shelved that, and then I went to Yakuza 0 and just played through that game. Like I was just enthralled with that game. That game is fantastic. And then Kiwami came out. I'd say a couple months after I finished 0, and like Kiwami, I think Yakuza Kiwami is great. I love playing it, but I haven't finished it. And because I keep giving my time to these other games,
Right.
and I keep thinking like, well, I should really go back and finish Kiwami because Yakuza 2 Kiwami's already out, and then the other
they're all out. Basically.
And so like I need to put some time into these games or into this game and finish it because I like Yakuza. I know that. So I want to get through the series because I want to play all of them leading up to 6. I don't want to just jump to 6 like a lot of people did. I want to play that because like I have to do that.
Yeah.
I want to see Kiryu's arc like all the way through that game because it'll be more satisfying for me. But I don't make that time because like I have all these other games that come out, right? Like I recently had to decide to sit down and play through Far Cry 5. I've had that game for a long time. And I talked about it when I first got the game. I talked about playing it and like, how I felt about it. But then I shelved it because like I think with like Ubisoft games specifically, just they love giving you shit to do. And then like I kind of just like when I first played that game, I felt like I had to do all that stuff.
Right.
But then I got to the point where I was like, I'm just gonna CP it.
Yeah.
And just get through it. And then I'm gonna play through Far Cry New Dawn. But it always involves me. Like, because there's so many games that I enjoy that it involves me making the conscious decision to sit down and give this game my fucking time.
Yeah.
And it sucks because like I'm not always great at like making the distinction of when to do that.
See, and I've talked about this before, like I'm somebody who buys a lot of video games, more than I can play at any given moment,
Yeah.
But I do that because at any point, I have something new to play. I always have multiple new things to play.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing a game and like I'm not feeling it, I've got something to jump to that I probably am.
Yeah. So what's a game that came out that you bought, that you played it, you were enjoying it, but then you fell off of it for and you want to get back to it and finish it?
The Phantom Pain.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So what happened with that?
Nothing. Just other games.
Yeah.
Other games caught my attention.
Do you remember what you went to?
I don't. I want to say that's around the time that I played Nier Automata, but I'm not positive.
So with Nier Automata, it was just like straight through, like get all the endings, just like didn't stop until you got all the endings.
Yeah, well, like you hear me talk about the games that I really love, right? Like Nier Automata and Shadow of the Colossus and shit like that. Like that stuff that like I'm thinking about when I'm not playing. I'm thinking about playing it,
right.
And not a lot of games do that to me.
Yeah.
So when a game does, I just go with it. I don't ever feel beholden to any game.
Sure.
But I really loved what I had played of Phantom Pain. I know people have their criticisms with it. I know how it ends.
Yeah.
Part of me think that the ending is intentional.
Okay.
But I really want to get back to that.
Yeah.
But you were also, so correct me if I'm wrong. It was the conversation about games that we haven't finished or games that we've just never played that we want to play?
Both.
Okay.
Because there are games I think there are games that we've both purchased. Like I was telling you before that Far Cry New Dawn was in plastic until a few days ago. Like I was just sitting on the shelf. Like my girlfriend bought that game for me for months ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not playing this until I finish Far Cry 5. But like the problem was that like there were so many games that were coming out around that time, or so many games that I had purchased around that time, that Far Cry 5 wasn't getting my time.
Right.
And so like I wasn't gonna play Far Cry New Dawn because I wanted to play through 5 first. But then there are also there are games like, for example, like you were talking about how there are so many games that you've purchased that you haven't even played yet.
Right.
And I think that was, but at the same time, I think also as like with like digital, like with buying games digitally, these marketplaces have made it easy to do that.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Like you have Humble Bundle, you have Steam, you have
Humble
makes it because like
shit.
They have these sales where like this game is $40.
Yeah.
You want to buy this game? It's $7 now, right? And so
here's 5 more games with it, some of which you had no interest in playing, but now you have it.
Well, then I think
so you may as well try it.
Yeah,
Ian's Eyes. Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
That game will haunt me until the end of my days.
Right. But a lot of those games are trash, but like a lot of them aren't.
Yeah, but here's the thing too: is that like okay, so you sign up for something like because I have Humble Monthly, right? And so like I'm getting all these codes every month. And like it's to the point where like I forget that I have all these codes like piled up.
Yep.
And just to the point where like I know, like I'm to the point where like I have all these codes, and like I started just giving them away because like
I've done the same thing.
Because like what am I gonna do, right?
I've done the same thing. If it's something I'm not interested in,
and so like, but I buy games because like that game seems so fucking cool. But like, at the same time, like I bought this game and I bought this game, and both of these games seem so fucking cool, and I just don't. I play 5 minutes of this game here, I play 5 minutes of this game here, and it's just like it's so hard.
You know what my biggest problem is?
What?
Is I like having complete collections. So like, I had bought one of the Deus Ex games, right? Yeah. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to buy every Deus Ex game.
Sure.
And I haven't played them, you know? I've done that with so many series.
Yeah.
It's just like, I can't just buy one. I need to have all of them,
Yeah.
you know?
You know what's funny is it's not the same thing, but like it was funny because it made me, I don't know why it is. So like, I was thinking of revisiting Mortal Kombat X recently.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. It's on sale for like $5.
But then like I was just like, but like my mind is so weird because like I was like, well, it's not the newest one, so I already have the newest one. I'm just gonna play the newest one.
See, my mind does not work that way.
But at the same, but it's weird though, right?
Yeah.
Because when it comes to Street Fighter, like I actually feel like I'd rather play 4.
Well, 4 is the better game.
Yeah.
And 3 is the better game, right? For me, my mind is always like, what is the best game in the series?
Sure.
That's the one I want to play.
And it's always so disappointing when the newest one isn't the best one.
But it's so often that's
it's
the case.
frequently, right?
You know?
But then like so I have like, and then again, I have Rage 2. Like I'm lukewarm on it, right? But I want to see where that game goes.
Yeah, and to just go through the story would probably not take very long.
Yeah, but like but something else happened, right? And it's weird because like it's usually, you know, it's not always something that I've already played, but it usually is. You know, and it's usually a game that I've already finished too.
Oh man. Doom 2016. I still have not finished. I'd like to finish that.
I wish you would.
Yeah.
And it's not like there's like some like amazing ending at the end.
No, but like I intend to finish it before the new one comes out. You know.
Yeah, and it's a game worth playing through.
Well,
and
I enjoyed my time with it, much like the Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
Just
do you remember what happened?
No. And I have multiple versions of that game, you know. But
yeah, I have 2 versions that I gave myself. Yeah. You know, and that's a game that was a game that I just devoured, man. Like I played, I booted up, and like I just didn't turn it off until I finished.
I did for like the first 80% of the game. Same thing, Phantom Pain, like the first 80% of the game.
Yeah,
you know, even Control, right? I let you borrow Control. I'm like 4 trophies away from platinuming that.
Yeah,
you know.
I think for me, a lot of the time, it's the games that like give you games that have side quests or side missions or anything like that. Usually, like for like that happened to me with The Witcher 3, where you know it's to the point where, like there's so much shit for you to do in that game.
Yeah,
that like you open the one day you just open the map. And you just I one day I just opened the map and I decided that's too many icons.
See, but that's the thing. That's the trouble with these games, and I think a strength of them is that like the traditional open world Ubisoft game does not typically have the most interesting side quests.
Right.
Phantom Pain had some phenomenal side quests. Nier Automata had some phenomenal side quests. Control, some of the best content in that game is its side quests.
Right.
So you do feel like you have to go do all that shit, you know?
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. The thing about Control is it does what every game should do if it has side quests.
Yeah.
Which is it adds context to the world and adds context to what you're doing.
Well, and even just from a gameplay standpoint, like some of the best boss battles in that game are in its side quests.
Right.
You know?
Now you take side quests from like Ubisoft games.
Yeah.
They don't add any context because
go get more XP.
Go get more, like go here, shoot this, you're done.
Yeah.
Right? And they don't add anything to the story. Like I've done a lot of side quests in Far Cry 5. It didn't add anything to the story.
Doom, man. I know it's such a dumb thing, but like just those little challenge things that 2016 has, I loved those.
Yeah.
Loved
well,
those.
it's funny because like you also like you get something out of that.
Yeah.
Like you get something out of that. And like doing those can actually make your character stronger.
But like if they had a whole mode that was just those, I'd probably play more of just that. Yeah. You know?
Doom 2016 VR missions.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, you know, it's like doing so, like having that kind of stuff is really cool. And when like, I don't think that more is always more, right? Because I think that when we have games that are like games that seem huge and seem like they have a lot of content, like these Ubisoft games that I'm talking about, they do, but it's like it's not like, because like when we're talking about side missions that add more to the game,
right?
I'm looking for something like Control, right? Because like I'm gonna get additional lore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find a document or something.
Yeah.
That's gonna add context and just make the overall experience more interesting. But like, and it's hard to like get exhausted of that because I'm just getting more content.
Right.
I'm getting more actual content. Where a lot of times especially with open world games are the games that I fall off of the hardest a lot of the time, because they have all the stuff that I feel compelled to do. But then at a certain point, I feel exhausted from it, and I want to play something else. But there are games that I do want to go back to, and I think that's
why we need more open world games like Spider-Man, because Spider-Man, you can do every single thing to do in that game in a reasonable amount of time.
Right. Well, I think that's another thing too. Is like I want more games that respect my time.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of games that give me extra stuff to do don't respect my time. And I like because, like, for example, like take the Arkham games, right? You can just critical path each of those Arkham games, and you'll get the main idea of the story, right?
Yeah.
But like doing the side quests, you get additional storylines. Like you can there's a whole Mr. Zsasz storyline in Arkham City, that's really cool. And so but you miss out on that by not doing that. So giving me additional stuff like that, like especially for someone who, like, maybe you don't know who Mr. Zsasz is, so now you get to go through all this stuff and like learn more about these characters. That's cool. That's really cool. But like making the mission to where it's just more of what I'm already doing is how I usually fall off of a game. And that's kind of why like with God of War, right? Like God of War has like a bunch of side quests for me to do. But I was also determined to finish that game, and I knew that if I just did all the side quests in God of War, I just wasn't going to finish it.
Right.
And I was going to fall off of it, and I probably never would have seen the ending to that game.
It's funny, right? Like, for me, my tastes typically align with developers who believe in less is more.
Right.
Not always, but typically, right?
Right.
Like Nier Automata, like Spelunky or Tetris, right? Like Spelunky, there is one thing to do in Spelunky.
Right. You spelunk.
But like, fuck, I've put a lot of time into doing that one thing.
Right.
And to getting good at doing that one thing,
right.
Like,
right.
It's like Abs playing Daytona, Like he's just mastered Daytona.
Right.
You're just doing one thing, and you're just racing that one race, Like,
yeah, but but we're also talking about games that like there is an end to Spelunky, right? But like it's all at the same time it's a roguelike, so like there's an end to it, but there's not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. But like even a game like Shadow of the Colossus, right? Like I've got that game down.
Right.
I beat that game super fucking quick.
Yeah.
But I love it, and I love doing that, so I just do it over and over and over again,
It's funny because we have these games that we've played so many times that in some ways kind of trivialize these other games' presence in our lives because like we just want to do that thing.
Yeah. Make your games better.
I mean, but I mean,
playing, but
well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like
I think that there are a handful of games that like can hold my attention in that way.
Yeah.
I
think that like what is drawn it's ironic to me in a way because I think that like with Yakuza specifically, like the side quests are all these mini storylines.
Oh yeah. Those side quests are awesome.
Yeah. And I love doing them. And I can't point to what makes you fall off of a Yakuza game because I
think you fell off of Kiwami because you had just played Zero. And the only reason I say that is because like I tend to have that problem too. When I played Metro 2033, as soon as I finished it, I started Last Light.
Yeah.
And I still to this day haven't finished Last Light.
Is Last Light just more 2033?
Yeah, it's just more of the same, and I just felt like burnt out at that point. I needed something else, So I think it is. I'm trying to give myself a palate cleanser between games in the same series, and and even games of the same genre, because there as well, when you and I are playing all these fighting games, man, I bought like fucking 30 fighting games in like a week.
You still blame me for Samurai Showdown 6.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I do love those games and I will play more of them.
Yeah.
I couldn't give them all a fair amount of time.
Sure.
There's no way.
Yeah.
You know?
I think about how like not only me and not just you, but like other people in my life are doing that, you know, like my girlfriend, she loves buying limited run video games. She just loves doing that. She bought ToeJam and Earl.
Yeah.
She played it for 15 minutes and just...
It's not a great game.
Regardless, you know. It's weird, though, because, like, I feel like the only people who would buy ToeJam and Earl are people who have a history with ToeJam and Earl. She'd never played it before.
I think if you're a young person and you saw that box art, that you might think... It's very easy to think ToeJam and Earl is the kind of game that it's not.
How do you
if
mean?
that makes sense. Because ToeJam and Earl is like this weird fucking game where you wander around this map and you slide on the rails and like, what the fuck are you even doing?
Yeah.
But like, if you just look at it, it's like, oh, it's probably a platformer or something.
Sure.
And it's totally not.
They did make that game, though.
Right.
But
you know what I mean? Like, it's a hard one.
Yeah,
but,
or like...
But I get that desire, though. Like, there are certain low print games that I would like to own.
Sure.
Typically, they're games I like.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Like, I would love to have a physical copy of the Japanese Hotline Miami 2.
Yeah.
Or Hotline Miami, rather.
That's super easy to get. It's not expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
But, but like, but again, Hotline Miami 2, right?
Yeah.
I was so excited for that game to come out. But then it just felt like there was, I don't know if it was just me, but like, it just felt like there was so much, like it felt like it was so much more, like as far as like levels and everything like going on. It just felt like it was more than Hotline Miami 1.
Yeah.
And I felt like I wasn't ready for that because like they were playing as like 4, 5, 6, 7 different characters. And it's like, I was like, I don't know. And so like, I was really excited for that game. And then I just fell off of it.
And what's funny is if you think about it, it's like really no different than the first one.
Yeah.
With the masks and all that, you know, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And so, you know, I think about like, it's caused me, like knowing my propensity to like not finish these games has caused me to be more careful about how I'm spending my money with these games. So I think about like, okay, well, that game looks cool, but what do I already have? And what are the odds that I'll stop playing this to play one of those other games?
Mm-hmm.
And my number one culprit right now is Yakuza Kiwami because like I want to finish that game because I need to move on to Kiwami 2 and play and the other ones because I need to get through 6. So that like it's to the point where while they're not a part of the same storyline, they're in the same universe. So I refuse to play Judgment.
Yeah.
Until I finish Yakuza.
See, and for me, it's like it's not that you're saying I need to finish this. I need to like. The minute I feel like I need to do something video game related, I'm like, fuck no, I don't need to do this. I'm going to do it when I want to do it.
Yeah, well, like I think need is the wrong word because like I've long said that the moment that a video game starts feeling like work, I'll stop playing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, like Yakuza never felt like work.
Yeah,
I stopped playing it.
Yeah. I also think like I think people should have played Kiwami 1 and 2 before playing 0. And this is from somebody who's played very little Yakuza. But Kiwami 1 and 2 are visually improved versions of older games than 0. Zero's mechanics have changed and improved, so it's going from a more improved set of mechanics to a more dated set of mechanics.
So I agree with that. After having played Yakuza 0 and playing a good amount of Kiwami, like it does what prequels do, right? Is that they have reveals that are only significant if you know who these characters are already,
right? Like
see, like they do a reveal for Goro Majima,
Goro,
not the forearms, anyway,
Goro everywhere,
but so. Majima has like these boots that he wears. They're like these silver tipped black boots that he wears, right? and when you're introduced to him in Zero, like the camera is first on those boots, right? So if I had played Yakuza already, then I would be like, that's magic. Yeah. Right. But like since I hadn't played it, like that meant nothing to me.
Right. Wesker.
Sure, you mean but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally get you.
I don't know. I feel like I have it's weird because like I think about like when I was a kid. And I used to talk about how I say to myself, like, man, when I'm old enough to do it, I'm going to get a job with my own money. I'm going to buy all the video games I want, play all the video games I want. Not realizing, of course, how little time you have as an adult to do these things.
Right.
And how also little money you have because no one tells you about rent and utility bills. But, you know, like, it's ironic because like I've spent my money the way that I thought I would as a child.
Yeah.
Which I guess says a lot about me, but I spent the money buying the video games that I want just like I planned to. But I can't play them.
Well, it's Twilight Zone. You're the guy in the library with the broken glasses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's you. You're that white guy. Okay, so my number one franchise that I've wanted to play for a long time and never have, but I finally have available to me, is Parasite Eve.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I remember liking Parasite Eve as a child.
Yeah.
Because it was new to me, and I'd never seen an RPG like that.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Parasite Eve actually started off as Final Fantasy VII. And they quickly decided this is way too different.
Mitochondria.
Yeah, but yeah, it just looks super interesting. I had no interest in Parasite Eve until Third Birthday came out, but now I just want to play the whole series.
That's Japan only, isn't it?
No, it was released here. Yeah.
Okay.
But it just looks awesome. Looks awesome.
Yeah, I had a friend who had Parasite Eve when I was a kid, and I played a little bit of it, but I just remember the mitochondria. I know there's a lot of blood going on, I think.
Yeah.
So I also
I remember the first scene. There's like an opera going on.
Yeah, the little crazy lady.
And then like the fucking audience is on fire. And
yeah.
Like, it looks super cool.
And she's singing while they're on fire. Well, like it was the thing from like when they're advertising the game where she's playing the piano and her hands get all prototype and they break the piano.
Yeah.
And then,
So Parasite Eve I really want to play. And I will. Got that PlayStation Classic going, so.
Cool. Yeah, I think Yakuza is the one for me as far as the franchise that I want to. Cause I'm already into it, but like I really want to like go through it because that whole storyline is really interesting to me.
Also, I know it got horrible reviews, but I really want to play Left Alive.
Which one is that?
It's the one in the Front Mission universe.
Oh yeah. That isn't that like a stealth game?
Yeah, I think the game has mechanical problems and some technical problems.
I mean, it looks pretty.
But I think the biggest reason it got bad reviews is people were expecting a Front Mission game when they clearly said it's in the Front Mission universe.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's. I would actually like to get in because I have Front Mission 4.
Yeah.
For the PS2.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting it to be an amazing game.
Sure.
I'm expecting it to have some fucking problems.
Yeah.
But I'm okay. You know.
Yeah. But I'd like to get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that there's so many video games, and I just want to play them.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because like, you ever just go through your library, and like just look at the games that you started.
Yeah.
That and got like 1 or 2 achievements or trophies out of, and it just stopped.
Oh yeah.
And you just wonder like, hey, I should go back to that. And then you just never do. And I usually try to find like, and it's a weird paradox because like, it's not like the proposition of playing that game doesn't sound fun to me because it absolutely does, but then like the proposition of playing another game sounds equally fun to me. So, like it's like, what are you supposed to do? And like and one of the ways that I kind of got around that was I was able to for example, the way that I got around that with Assassin's Creed Origins, I was like, I'm just gonna play it on stream.
Yeah.
That'll be my time that I set aside to play that game. If I'm streaming, then I'm playing that. And then I thought about doing that again because I haven't streamed in quite a while, and kind of using that as because it helps me to regiment that stuff, to section it off so I know that I have this time to play it, because like I said, my time is at a premium. Well, not right now because I'm.
So Resident Evil 2 really kind of inspired me, right? Us playing through that together made me think I don't want to stream by myself full playthrough of something long.
Yeah.
But if me and Ryan are streaming something long, Evil Within, right? We'll hold each other accountable and we will finish that goddamn game.
Yeah.
Because
here's what I think about Resident Evil 2. I think that if it were one of us by ourselves, we would have gotten to the plugs.
Oh yeah.
And then we've been
pulled the plug.
Yeah, we would have pulled the plug on that stream and we're well, I'm stuck. That's
Later.
it for tonight.
Right.
Right. So I did I feel like making it through, because I had never imagined that I have never finished a Resident Evil game in one sitting before. And none of them are particularly long. I've just never done it.
They are all long if it is your first time playing it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I feel pretty, I don't know where this confidence comes from, but I feel pretty confident that I could run through Resident Evil 2 by memory, no problem. The original Resident Evil 2.
Oh, no, I could not.
I feel pretty confident that I could. I don't know why I feel that way.
I just get through a good amount of one.
Well, I remember the part at which you were able to get us to in Resident Evil 1, and then you were like, well,
yeah,
now I don't know.
Yeah.
Then we got stumped.
Well, it's funny because remake versus original one, it's the same layout except for the outside part.
Yeah.
It's the same, but everything's changed around.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I think that that's what I did like that about the Resident Evil 2 playthrough. And I think that's what I'm gonna like. That's why when you asked me do you want to do Resident Evil 2 or do you want to do Evil Within? I finished Resident Evil 2 or not Silent Hill 2 or Evil Within.
Yeah.
I already finished Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
I finished Evil Within. I know that if we stream Evil Within, it's gonna get done.
Yeah.
And so I want to do that. And also it's just a fun game, I think.
I just wonder neither of us know how long that game is.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not too long.
Well, I think that game has, the reason I feel confident about that game.
Yeah. Is
because that game doesn't have puzzles in the way that Resident Evil games have.
Okay.
And there's never been the only reason I ever got stuck on Evil Within is because I died.
Okay.
I never got stumped because of a puzzle or nothing.
Okay.
And if I did, that's what the internet's for.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
And I will not hesitate to Google things.
Absolutely.
Because I want to get through that game because I want to play Evil Within 2 because I want to know the deal with the milk. So.
Yeah.
But I feel weird. I feel weird about talking about how little time I have to someone who is typically more busy than I am.
Yeah.
But I can't help it.
It happens.
Yeah.
Drakengard 3 I really want to play. And I will play Drakengard 3.
What is it about Drakengard 3 that makes you want to play it?
It's the what's missing, right? I need to play Drakengard 3. I need to play the original Nier.
Yeah. Well,
and Drakengard 3 has a very interesting character that kind of makes sense of a lot of things. So,
how do you mean?
The Drakengard and Nier games are in the same universe, and they all have lots of different endings, and they're all very weird. And there's a character that makes it so. There's a character that, if you look at it the right way, makes it so all of those endings could be canon at the same time, and that's interesting to me.
Breath of the Wild. That was the game
You still haven't played that?
I played it, right? But man,
it's not long, dude. It's not long.
So
it doesn't have to be long.
we have the Switch in docked mode at our house.
Yeah.
And I booted that game up for the first time since July.
Yeah.
and I got in, and I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Even if you have to start over, dude, like it's not long.
I think I'm gonna start over. But
it's long if you want to explore every inch of the map and do every quest possible.
Is there a point at which I get a horse?
Yeah, you can get a horse very fast.
All right. Well, maybe I missed how I get the horse because I feel like getting the horse would make things.
You can just like sneak up on one's butt, and jump on it.
Yeah.
Then you buck that Bronco for a little bit.
Sure.
Then he's your horse.
That's how it works, I guess.
Yeah. Take him to a stable. Give him a name.
I'll just get the motor. How do you get the motorcycle?
That's DLC, my friend.
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta pay for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one that I want to finish because that Nier Automata. I think Nier Automata is one because we have that physical.
Yeah.
And I keep looking. I keep seeing the disc. I keep seeing the case on our shelf.
Yeah.
I really need to play that.
Become as gods, Ryan.
Yeah, become as squids.
Yeah.
Because I
Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE. I really want to play that one.
Yeah. Nier Automata is another one of those games that's really interesting in a way that I can't quite put my finger on. Like I'm talking from like a narrative standpoint.
I think it's all philosophy.
Yeah.
And very few games touch that.
Yeah. This is like am I right in thinking that like it's going toward like what does it mean to be human sort of angle?
That's a part of it, but that's a small part of it.
Okay.
Well, it's a big part of it, but there are much bigger things than that.
Okay.
You know. Because like we've talked about it before, there's so many things that touch on what does it mean to be human, right?
Yeah.
Terminator 2 touches on that, you know.
Yeah, I know now why you cry.
Right.
But it's something I could never
but
do.
like it goes far beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know,
and I think maybe you'll like androids more by the time it's done.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Is I don't necessarily have a problem with androids.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is why it is necessary to make them smarter than us.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they can't possibly start smarter than us.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Have
why
the capacity to
why give them the capacity to
Right.
do that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like who does that serve?
Well.
You know? Because we're gonna find ourselves in a very precarious situation. I mean, if any movie has taught me that, Terminators, iRobot.
Sure.
Sure. I feel pretty confident that I feel pretty confident. Don't tell me, but I feel pretty confident that the reason humans are wiped out in Nier Automata is because they did something to robots that they shouldn't have been doing. And also the Matrix. Shit got real fucked up for people because they did stuff that they weren't supposed to be doing with robots.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't necessarily have a problem with androids. Just make them dumb. You know? Like I like, for example, like Data from Star Trek. No, thank you.
Mm.
But Roombas, fine.
Sure. Sure.
Tom.
Yes, sir.
Before we close the show, do you have any closing thoughts? Anything deep or philosophical to say about anything?
No.
Okay.
I will say this. If you have completed the Parasite Eve trilogy,
Sure.
let me know which ones are good, which ones are terrible.
Yeah.
Because I've heard mixed things.
I bought Resident Evil. I bought Parasite Eve 2.
Yeah. I've heard not great things about that one.
But, I mean...
And also not great things about Third Birthday. But I really want to play all.
At 13 years old, I wasn't the best judge of what is a good video game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember thinking it was okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I ever played Mega Man Legends 2. I'd like to rectify that.
Yeah.
That's my closing thought.
Sure. I never finished The Misadventures of Tron Bonne. And I did like that game a lot. So I would also like to beat a Final Fantasy game.
You beat 15.
I mean, besides that, I mean one of the other ones.
You beat 13.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, 7 Remake's coming out soon, so.
Yeah. I like to. Well, I'd like to play one of the Final Fantasies that everybody speaks really, really highly of, like one of the older ones.
9, 6.
Isn't 9 the one with the monkey boy? And
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay, is that the one that people like?
Of the PlayStation trilogy, obviously people are all about 7. A lot of people like 8, but I think like people really love 9 because it goes back to more fantasy.
Yeah, we have 8. 8's one I like a lot.
Yeah.
I never played like any of like the 4 or the 6, and everybody speaks really highly of those. But like my fear is that I will find a way to purchase those games and then I will play them, and then the same thing that happens will always happen. Is that I like get to a point, I just stop.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I guess in closing, I will say, budget your time as well as you need to do things that you enjoy.
Okay.
But don't ever do anything that feels like work unless you're getting paid for it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, thanks for listening to us once again. And
Max Payne. I gotta play Max Payne.
wait, you never played Max Payne?
I mean, I've played around with it. I haven't like played through the game.
Yeah.
Max Payne. It's
I
my
know-
remedy hole is Max Payne.
Yeah,
so.
you play Max Payne 1 and 2, and you'll get what you need.
Yeah.
Max Payne 3 is great, but it's not Remedy, so you're not gonna get anything extra out of that.
Yeah, I'm not playing that one.
You don't like that?
I'm only playing the first 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
Max Payne 2 is really great though. I think you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Max Payne 1 is good, but Max Payne 2 is like really, really, really good. Anyway, maybe Sinead will be back next time. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
She's married now, so her priorities are different.
Sure.
I remember we went to her wedding, but she can't show up to record. I don't get it. But anyway, thanks again for listening to our show. We will see you next time, and be good to each other. See you next time.
Bye, guys.